the great one.
Boy, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
Harry Jones out there with Perkins. And there's Roberson. And it's Durant. And it's Jackson in at the 1. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Perkins cleans up the mess with the savage put-back flush.
Well, I love that aggression. Forget about the tip. Just grab the thing and slam it home.
Well, what a way to get second chance points.
Yeah, don't take any risks. Just put that ball back in the hoop.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Hey, guys. The great one in their last game against the Mavericks just played phenomenal. He had 37 points and added 3 rebounds as well. Just absolutely incredible numbers from him in a game you didn't want to miss. So glad we were here to watch it, Kevin.
Appreciate it, Doris. Thanks. Well, we've seen a lot of great players have a lot of great games, but that Clark was something special.
Kevin, it really was. I mean, they threw everything but the kitchen sink at him, and nothing slowed him down.
Well, let's just say he was really good.
Now here's Durant. After the miss from the great one, Jackson missing again. He feeds it to Burks. Outside Jefferson. The pass to the great one. Takes the 3. And that one's good. The great one's got 5 points now in the quarter.
It looks like he's finding his touch now because the shots are starting to fall.
Outside Jackson. Back to Durant. Right side Durant. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Durant's got 14 points.
You know, it seems like when they've gone to him, he's really come through. And that's not something they should get away from.
.157 left here in the second. And Utah making a change here. Pass to the great one. Defended by Lamb. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for Oklahoma City.
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the offensive rebounding has been really impressive so far as well. So I really like this team's effort tonight.
Now here's Durant. His last outing, he had 18 points. It's Jackson with the drive. Outside for Durant. Just 2 to shoot. Oh, that's blocked. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Jazz have gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the second quarter. You've got to like how they've shot the ball. Here's the great one. Soft touch off the glass. The great one's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
You know, he's showing some kind of a killer instinct this quarter, trying to stretch this lead out.
Here's Jackson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And here we go, Burke heading to the hoop. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Jazz.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, and I've noticed also that their quick hands have led to a lot of forced turnovers. They're getting some points in transition as a result.
Jackson dishes to Durant. Back to Jackson. Pass to Durant. Will it go? Rebounded by the Jazz. Last time they met was in Utah. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
Yeah, knocking down the open shots and really getting a nice flow to their game.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
Outside Jackson. Left side Durant. It's rebounded by Richard Jefferson. Here's Burke. Missed inside.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
And a tight game here as we end the first half. Jazz out in front, up by 5. Folks, stay tuned for the halftime show with Damon Bruce for all the highlights from our first half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Sunday action is in full swing, so let's break down the first half for you. Utah with the lead against Oklahoma City. They're facing a team with a lot of talent, but haven't backed down. They're racking up the assists, great passing in the early going. And still in this, the Thunder hanging around. They're crashing the offensive glass with reckless intensity, tremendous hustle. Excellent output from Kevin Durant in this one. He's got 14 points and is always looking to go to work on the boards. Thanks for being with us. Now back to Oklahoma City as the third quarter gets underway.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
Hey, we all know how hard it was for the Thunder going into last season to trade away their 6-man star, James Harden, but it was something that had to be done. They really missed his playmaking ability, though, and I think they missed him in the locker room, too.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So on the floor for Utah. Favors plays the 4 with Kanter at the 5. Great one out there with Burke, and it's Jefferson in at the 3. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Guys, Serge Ibaka was drafted as a raw prospect back in 2008. But over time, his jump shot has really developed. Coach Brooks said he's one of the best pop guys in the league at that position. A 17-footer, I would probably take that shot over anybody on our team. Guys, Ibaka said with all the attention that Westbrook and Durant draw, the team needs someone else to step up. He's trying to be that guy for his teammates.
He certainly is. Thanks, Doris.
Well, we know how talented he is. It's just a question of how good can he become if he continues to put the work in.
And for the Thunder, a financial decision to trade away Harden. They've already tied up Steve money in big contracts to Durant, to Westbrook, Ibaka, and Perkins.
And Kevin, I think a lot of people question why they didn't keep Harden and maybe move Ibaka or Perkins. I think Perkins would have been maybe the best option, but he's really looked at as their best post defender and a guy who brings leadership and toughness. So it was a very difficult decision, but there's no doubt this team missed James Harden.
Now that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. Great awareness and terrific finish.
Here's the great one, following the score by Oklahoma City. Durant with the steal.
Well, they need a shot or two to fall here soon. They're only 1 of 4 since the break.
Burke covered by Perkins. Offensive rebound. Burke can't get it to go.
That's what they call the $1 million move with the 10-cent finish.
Durant kicks to Lamb. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Outside Westbrook. The feed to Lamb. Shot clock at 6. Durant attacking. No good. Jefferson with some nice D.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there. You know, often when we think of freakish athleticism in the NBA, it's those with strength and explosiveness like LeBron or Dwight Howard, but Kevin Durant physically is unique in his own right. Sure, he's got a slight build, but his mobility for his height, unparalleled.
Now, here's Burke. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And Derek Favors with the slam. Well, now they're just going to town on us.
Yeah, you'd think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
You think about the length of Kevin Durant, reach of a center with the fluidity, speed of a guard.
Such a rare combination, Kevin, and it gives them a huge advantage at both ends of the floor. I mean, defensively, you think about the blocks and the steals and the rebounds. And then offensively, the ability to play above his opponents.
Off his foot. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. The Jazz making a switch here. Rush is checked in. Pass to the great one.
What a huge play.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Here's Fisher. Ibaka, defended by Cantor. Shots good by Ibaka. Ibaka's got his second bucket of the night.
Great job there, recognizing the mismatch and taking advantage.
They got to put a bigger guy on him. Otherwise, he'll bury those jumpers all game. Well, the defender was on him like glue, all up in his airspace. That's a very low percentage shot against that kind of D.
Yeah, you're right. Best not to force it when you've got someone draped all over you like that. You got to move the ball on.
You know, not really a significant margin in terms of them rebounding, but enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, it's helping them get the lead. And if they can continue to rebound like this, I think they're going to be in pretty good shape. Well, the latest weight loss story for a big man is Enes Kanter. After his rookie season, he decided it would be best to slim down and add some speed to his game. And the word is he shed almost 50 pounds before the start of last year.
Now here is Cephalosha. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Fisher. No good on the three. Utah leading by 12. There's the dish to Burke. He passes to the great one. Feeds it to Burke. There's the pass to the great one. He kicks to Hayward. He dishes it to Rush. The three ball gets it to go. And the Jazz lead by 15. You talk about the weight loss for Kanter, even slimming down 50 pounds. Clark, he still comes in over 240 pounds.
Yeah, that's a lot of LBs, but it's packed differently now. And he's got a huge frame for such a young player. Physically imposing, dislocated his shoulder late last season and underwent surgery. So we'll see how the rehab goes with that. But, you know, I think he's built to bang and to last and to have an impact.
Derek Favors checked in for Enes Kanter.
For the Jazz last season, it really became an issue about the log jam inside. They had two established starters in Jefferson and Millsap and two young up-and-comers in Kanter and Favors. And there was an expectation that somebody would be moved, but the trading deadline passed and they were all still there.
Here's the great one, following the basket by Russell Westbrook. To the inside. Westbrook with the steal. Now Fisher. And it's Westbrook missing. Well, you would have thought that the Jazz would have made a deal one way or another, but it was hard for them as they were in the thick of a playoff race at the time, Steve, sort of tied their hands.
Well, if they weren't in that race, I think they might have sent one or two of those guys out to try to get some more assets for the future. As it was, they ended up losing Millsap and Al Jefferson, so it's incumbent on the young talent in that front court to now develop and really take over.
And Utah has possession. Following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Just 3 to shoot. Hayward passes to the great one. And the rebound goes to the Thunder. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And that game featured one of the least consistent offensive performances you're going to see from them, Clark.
Yeah, no spurtability on display at all, fellas. I mean, they needed to make a few runs, but it just never was able to happen for them.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit. We'll make it.
Be sure to check out the latest issue of Dime Magazine, the great one, appearing on the front cover. One of the league's rising.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Utah.
They've knocked down plenty of mid-range jumpers in this one. That's been big for them.
And then look at the points in the paint because they're really winning that battle tonight.
Ran outside at the three with Ibaka playing the power forward. Backcourt tandem, Westbrook and Jeremy Lamb. And it's Perkins in at the center. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. Thunder trailing by 15. Now here's Westbrook. Here's Lamb. They get it again. Back to Westbrook. Inside to Perkins. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
You know, we didn't see too many plays like that when they were digging this hole for themselves.
No, maybe they'll start making up for it now.
Well, it's all about effort and energy and anticipation, and they're finally getting some of that.
There's the double team with Lamb. Burke, the pass to the great one. Outside Jefferson. Jazz passing it around. The great one defended by Lamb. The shot's good from the great one.
Another good look there, and that's his second three-pointer of the game.
The Thunder shooting just 35%. They've got to get better looks. Westbrook with it. Outside Durant. Puts up a three. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. And here's the upcoming schedule for the Thunder. They host the Spurs after this one. Enes Kanter's checked in for Alec Burks. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Jazz leading by 16. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. It's on Kevin Durant.
Trey Burke, the National College Player of the Year at Michigan last season. He led the Wolverines in points, assists, steals, and blocks even. And, of course, led them all the way to the NCAA championship game. He's basically a winner. That's what he is.
All free throws good from Burke. And Burke declaring for the draft Clark after his sophomore season in Michigan.
Yeah, he was driven to be an outstanding player coming out of high school. A little under the radar as a high school player, but had a laser focus on developing and maximizing his ability. Spent 5 to 6 hours a day in the gym over the summers, and you've seen the fruit of that work.
Ibaka with the ball. Favors picks him up. Ibaka dishes to Durant. And the layup's good off the glass.
I've really appreciated their activity in the post today. I mean, their movement down low has been great.
Yep, ball movement, player movement. They're generating a lot of easy opportunities for themselves down there.
The great one passes to Jefferson. Dishes it to Burke. Gives him the lead pass. Passes it to the great one. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him. The great one's got 39.
All the buckets he's poured in today have put them in a terrific position heading into the stretch.
Westbrook drives in. Ball stolen. Here's the great one. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
They're down right now, trying to stay in the game with the three ball. They've shot a lot more here in the second half than they did in the first half. And I'm not sure I agree with that strategy. You know, with so many high hopes, the Thunder seem to be everybody's pick to make it to the finals once again. They were so dominant throughout the regular season. Many thought it was a foregone conclusion, but the injury to Russell Westbrook kind of sidetracked all of that.
And back to the Thunder in the postseason. They did well to get by the Rockets after Westbrook injured his knee. But, Steve, they just didn't have the same dynamic punch when they later faced the Grizzlies. Ended up getting bounced out in the second round.
Well, it was a tough matchup for them because the Grizzlies are so good defensively. And when you take Westbrook out of the lineup, all of a sudden it changes everything. I thought Oklahoma City battled, but they just didn't have enough firepower without their point guard.
Westbrook with it. Now defended by Burke. Westbrook kicks to Durant. Lets it go from deep. Rebounded by the Jazz. Jefferson's got 4 rebounds in this game.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
You know, so much has been said about the Oklahoma City home court advantage, and for good reason. I mean, you can feel it and hear it like a college atmosphere.
That's a good point. Outside Westbrook. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty, the way he can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
Also, guys, so often we see him playing possum at the defensive end. And then all of a sudden he springs into action, picks off a pass, and ignites the fast break.
Clark, back to what you said. Not only can you hear it when they are here, you can literally feel it. The rumbling, Steve, when you first come out of the tunnel is amazing.
Well, the Thunder have a fantastic team, Kevin, and you know they've been good the last few years, but you don't go 34-7 at home like they did last season without a significant advantage coming from the crowd, and I think that's been the case here. The crowd is loud and active and fired up every single night.
Burke, the pass to the great one. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And you can hear the reaction of the fans to that call.
Well, it's obvious they did not like it, Steve.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. Here's Fisher. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Here's the great one, guarded by Jackson. Back to Lucas. Pass to the great one. Kicks to Rush. The pass to the great one. 6 to shoot. Drills the three-pointer. The great one's got 53.
And he's performing at such a high level. That's why they're in the lead right now.
Outside Jackson. Here's Fisher. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Here's the great one. No good. Great D that time from Roberson.
Now it looks like their comeback hopes are out the window. I think this lead is safe now.
Yep, this one's a done deal.
Outside Jackson. He tries for three. The shot is off. Lucas with it. Here's the great one. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. Some days Clark.
According to sources within the league office, you have just been named the conference's Player of the Week once again. Who do you most credit for this award?